I'll present myself. I'm Luis Martins. I'm the CEO and co-founder of DataSprints. We are a company focused on custom data solutions. So we have some branches, some components of our organization. One is the consultants, where we can um, enter in large clients and really participate on the data-driven transformation of our clients. The other is the Academy DataSprints, that's very related to dimension science, where we train our professionals to obtain more practical expertise on these data matters. And we also have the products where we create spin-offs based on methodology that we created, where we find recurrences in the market, we validate ideas, and then we bring these ideas into market as a product, as a software as a service products, where these products can be available for our clients. We will have like a very brief presentation, so I prefer not to use the slides, right? Because I talked to Bob, so you're going to have only 10 minutes. So I'll just present myself and explain what we see with dimensional science and all the scholars that they have. DataSprints, it's a company that has like now 50 employees, and we have people's with grad people's PhDs and masters. And one of the things that we have with the data career is to obtain some domain knowledge. So we have some data scientists that work for finance, and we have some data scientists that work for oncology, cancer detection, and they all need computational skills, but they also need domain knowledge. So they will need to understand what they are doing in that specific industry, that specific vertical. For that case, we are creating like relationships and strategic partnerships with universities, some organizations that can help us to create connections with this academic side. So this is very important to us. So talking a little bit about me, I work at Embraer. It's an aeronautics company, one of the largest in the world of development of airplanes. And then I went to France, after I went to Canada, and then I work as a consultant in the United States. On the United States, I work for several clients. And on the United States, I saw like this big picture of creating a company that we could have like a very deep technology understanding of what we were doing, and we could bring more people to work on this endeavor. This is very important for Brazil, because Brazil, it's nowadays we see lots of companies like fintechs, marketing techs, and all of that. And DataSprints is a deep tech company, so we are very focused on creating intellectual property, creating technology, creating products, and we need people to work with us to create all these aspects of this entrepreneurship endeavor. I would ask Guertari to say about a little bit about management on our side. So I talk a little bit about my life, what is DataSprints. Guertari will talk a little bit about management. How can we manage like these so diverse teams that we have? People like, you have people that have 1 year of experience, and we have advisors that have more than 30 years of experience, of international experience abroad in Brazil, Latin America, and all that. So he will talk about management, and after Thais will talk about COVID Lake. That's our volunteer project, where we can have access for scientists to work on data related to COVID-19. So we created a large data lake to have public data, governmental data, and private data in one place. So Gortari.
Hey guys, can you listen to me? Is this mic working?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
can listen.
morning everyone. My name is André. They call me Bertari here because my last name. I'm current the DPM of DataSprints. DPM is a data project manager. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about the challenges of doing this kind of project here in Brazil and also with some partners around the globe. Um, Mainly, the data project is something new on the market. The positions we have open here to fulfill the projects are kind of new. There isn't any kind of graduation of data engineering or data science. So the main challenge for us here is to find the right people to do the right jobs and then orchestrate the components of this project. So I can say today, as I was hearing you guys saying about all your project, and everyone here is full academic, and I have to say that if you guys want to get in the market, data market, you have to break this first layer of the wrong impression that if you have to work with data, you must know how to program, you must know, you must be geeky. You already have a great set of skills you developed in the graduation and postdoctor and doctorate, and you can get all of the hard skills to get the job in this kind of high tech company just by getting into the position and then starting to learn with someone with more technical skills. So why I'm saying this, because our main problem here today is to find the people to get the job done, to have all the soft skills set to learn how to build some infrastructure, how to manage to work by themselves on the project without the delay any tasks. And I think my contribution here for you guys is to invite you to understand data scenario, the data projects, and try to dive on this world, because when you start to do some kind of work like you guys were doing with COVID-19, uh, you are doing analysis and telling for the right policies, the right politicians to do to orient them towards the right policies. But what if you can scale this and show more people what they have to do, how they have to behave to avoid this kind of scenario, dramatic scenario we are living right now? You can do this through technology. And so I'm inviting you guys to understand more about this world and open ourselves here to give you guys the opportunity to see this and how can you apply your skill set, academic skill set, to our technical skill set. And also Thais is gonna talk about this project we have here. We built this towards solutions for COVID-19, and she's going to talk a little bit more. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you, Andre. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So good morning, everyone. I am Business Development Representative at DataSprints, and I'm going to briefly introduce the voluntary project idealized by DataSprints earlier this year with the outbreak of the new coronavirus. So in the beginning of the pandemic in Brazil, we saw a great spread of misinformation and not so reliable data. So COVID Lake, the name of the project, emerged from a desire to revolutionize the way Brazil integrates information about COVID-19 by centralizing this information in just one place. So the trigger was to guarantee accessibility, security, integrity of those information to be used by researchers and also by the general public. And then we gather specialists from different areas across the country to work together and develop an oriented data lake that would store public and private health data related to COVID-19 in a unified, scalable, resilient, and auditable way, and enable the creation of interactive dashboards with Microsoft Power BI and Tableau, and also create predictive models. If I'm not mistaken, today we have a team of 27 volunteers, including engineers, business leaders, PMOs, scientists, and we also have doctors. We have PhDs in linguistics, microbiology, and 2 in theoretical physics, and a master in statistics. So the plan, the next steps, if we were presenting the slides, I create a slide for the future of the project. So the plan is that in the future, the project is going to become a health lake, integrating data related to several endemic diseases in Brazil, with the possibility to be the main source of health information in the country. So we have a lot of endemic diseases such as Chagas and another endemic diseases in Brazil. So the future of the project will be to become a health lake. I will type here in the chat the access to our project. Our website is covidlake.com.br, and our general email is falecom@covidlake.com.br. So if you want to be a partner, we currently have technological partners, including Amazon Web Services, in which we use Amazon S3 to storage the data lake, and Dreamio for the data lake engine and to catalog the data. And we also have data providers partners. So if you want to be a partner, or if you want to be a volunteer, or just to have access to our API, you can enter in our website or send an email, and then I will get in touch with you to give you access to our work. I will type here in the chat. So I think in general lines, that's it. So thank you so much. I can talk a little bit about the architecture. I don't know if we have data scientists or data engineer here, but we use Amazon S3 in the Amazon cloud to storage data lake. We use Dreamio for data lake engine and to data catalog, and we collect and transform the data into pipelines using Coletics, which is a product designed by DataSprints, or just Python scripts. And I think that's it. If Luis and Andre would like to complement me or help me with some important information, it would be nice. But Felipe already gave you the information in the chat. Our website, covidlake.com.br, and I will just type our general email.
And just again, we are inviting you guys to check on this project.
Yeah.
It can be really helpful for developing more skill set of tech side of your career. And you know, data is the new oil, so let's join this. Thank everyone.
Thank you. We have a number of questions that have come in. And so, you know, as you know, Dimensions Sciences is comprised of scientists and entrepreneurs. So there's some questions about the combination of those things, how they intersect. So the first one would be, what were the main difficulties of starting a data science company in Brazil? What were the struggles?
Okay, so can I answer, or okay?
Please.
No, I think you're the best to answer this question.
So I would say that's almost impossible. I look back then, if I knew all the challenges that I would have, sometimes I think that if I will still continue to willing to start the company, because back then at the beginning it was like a nightmare. It's a very complex market, because if you know IT, like IT, it's difficult to rise a team in IT nowadays, and on the data side it's even more difficult. when I was a data scientist in my LinkedIn, I used to receive like one international proposal to work abroad per week. And some of our professionals, they receive like 3 proposals to work in other companies in Brazil like per week. So it's very difficult to create a team of data professionals, engage that team, and make everyone like communicate to everyone the purpose, the vision, and the north that we are willing to have in the company. The other side is the Brazilian market. So when I worked in the United States, we were uh, very related to the data science, artificial intelligence layer. So I would sit with the C-level CEOs, CTOs, and we would talk about artificial intelligence. But the problem is with the database, the infrastructure, the cloud infrastructure, most of the times the health of the data wasn't that good. So when I returned to Brazil and I found the company with my partner, Alan, he's the co-founder of Data Hackers, 30,000 data professionals there. We talked about the strategy, and we had a common goal to be an end-to-end data custom solution company. Because when you think about end-to-end, you need to assess the capabilities of a company, like the homework. They have the data team. They have like the technology, like the budget. So after you have all this profiling, then you have a company that you can work for. And the first like 1.5 years, we really struggle to find like the addressable market, the clients that would really want the services that we were providing. So I would say that it was very difficult. And I would say that now we are in a very sensitive time to really to enter in the later growth stage of a company into a scale up. So we are aiming very high. So now the purpose, the aspiration of companies to be the #1 in Latin America for custom data solutions and top 5 in the Americas. So that includes United States, Canada, and all of that for by 3 years from now. So we have 3 years to get there.
So what are you looking for in scientists? You said you have scientists that work for you, you have PhDs. What kind of attributes and skills are you looking for from your scientists, and how do you recruit them? We have some potential employees here for you.
Totally, we know that. So I'm going to talk about what we normally seek on scientists. So first is to have like a thesis on some of the areas that we work on. Nowadays, DataSprints has like 5 verticals. We work finance, we work with healthcare, we work with transport and heavy industries like mining. So one of the main things is to have scientists align like the domain expertise of the scientist. Like if it's in health, it needs to be related to one of our verticals. This is the first thing. After we see that most of the scientists, they will need more familiarity with programming skills. So some of them, they work with programming during the research, but then we would need like a next level. And then we are creating an acceleration program in DataSprints to give them these hard skills. So mainly are like to get to know more about programming, not just about like some pieces of code, but really have a broad perspective of how this piece of code can be implemented and can be really absorbed by the production environment of a client. So it's very different from just coding and having something work for a project. It really needs to be integrated into an environment. The other thing is about Unix. So most of the scientists, sometimes they are familiar with Windows. That's an operating system that's not very used on our market. So we see that scientists, they need to get more familiar with Unix and Linux. The other thing is subversion. Some scientists, depending on the university, they are used to SVN. That's a kind of subversion system. Nowadays we use a lot Git. The subversion, it's important because you are not working alone. You'll be working with like sometimes hundreds of other people, and we need to have a system to integrate everything that it's been doing and can update the complete work in the end. So this is the mainly skills that we are seeking for. So in the end, it's a computational familiarity that we are willing to provide to scientists. So we are creating this acceleration program to people that already completed their PhD. And we are also seeking for scientists that have their research related to the verticals that we are aiming to.
Okay, wonderful. So let me make this a little more personal for the three of you. Not sure about your backgrounds, but I assume that each of you was doing something that wasn't working for a brand new entrepreneurial company at some point. So let me ask Luis, and then Thais, and then you. How did you make the transition from one world into this very fast-moving startup? What was that like? So Luis?
Okay, so I worked like before entering the startup world. I worked for almost like 10 years in different multinationals. So I worked for Azab, that's a welding and cutting company. I work at Embraer, that's a airplane development company. I work at IBM. I work with a data consultant in the United States. And after this career, then I changed to my entrepreneurship side. And my background, I did a course, a technician course at Cefet. So I'm a mechatronics technician. Then I studied at UFMG as a mechanical engineer, and all my experience was in the technical background. I didn't like almost nothing the business side. And then after I started this transition to entrepreneurship, I started to like really search and learn a lot about like lean startup, blue ocean strategy, all these like main books, these main methodologies that you need to know to create your company. So Thais, can you go?
Thank you. So you started to learn about strategy and management skills and organizations to build.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thais, and then Andre. Andre.
So I don't really know how to answer your question because I was not planning to enter in a technological field or a data field in the beginning. Actually, my initial plan was to enter in diplomatic field regarding politics and economics. And when I decided to graduate in business, mindset started to change, and I was really interested by technology and data, and then my path just changed a little bit, and those information starts to come at me, and I started to study and to learn several things regarding protection data, regarding Python and programming, and then I found DataSprints in LinkedIn. So and I applied to enter as a business development representative. And I'm actually my transition is happening right now. You know, it's not complete yet. I am still learning about data and about technology every day. So I can't answer you how it was to change to from business and from politics to technology and data, but I'm still looking forward to do it in the best way possible.
Okay, so we'll ask you again in 5 years.
Yeah.
And I've heard
maybe
two.
maybe the best.
I've heard 2 mentions of LinkedIn so far, which I want to note for our scientists. So Andre?
So I have a pretty hybrid background. Also, as I started looking for a more political and diplomatic career. So I started to study international relations here in Brazil. But during my how can I say my journey, I started to see that it ain't for me. So in the main course, I started to learn how to code in Python, how to understand the what is a data warehouse, data lake, and make several courses in this tech field. And stuff come really or pretty organic for me after this. I started to work as an intern on a tech company here, a startup. I stood there for 4 years, and then I worked as a commercial, then marketing, then tech representative, and then CRM specialist. After this, I started in another startup here, the biggest in the field they work for. I don't know if I can say, but and and then there I started to lead teams. I started the BI team there, and then my friend Alan, the associate from Luis, he invited me to join DataSprints when they were like 4 people. I was the number 5, and now here I am. We have this big team, great project, really challenging project, and couldn't be more happier.
Thank you. So this is a young company, and one of the things that we've talked to our scientists about and that they have talked about is the importance of having mentors. Did any of you have a mentor, and or do you mentor others now?
Like the whole founding, the beginning of the company was based on mentors. So our first advisor and mentor was Renato Reis, the ex-CIO of Orlando City and current director of Latam for Salesforce and Velocity. So Velocity was maybe 3 or 4 months ago was acquired by Salesforce, but Velocity get the coin term of being a unicorn. So nowadays it's valued more than $1 billion. We have a very strong advisory board. So since the beginning, I was the most concerned about having mentors and having advisors to really guide us in different aspects. Because, for example, Renato Reis is our advisor for internationalization. We have a mentor like Luis Prates, that's one of the partners of Falcone, is the largest management consultants in Brazil. He's our advisor for like consultants. We have Clarid, it's one of our mentors. He's a partner of Wildlife. That's another unicorn that was created here in Brazil. He's our mentor for business development. So we really connected all these relationships that I did back then in my career. My partner did, all these professionals that we met along the DataSprints work, and we really connected with them in a very persistent way. So one of the things that I'm very specialized in now is like how to be mentored and how to mentor, because it's something part of our culture to really ask for help for people that already like really did that journey that we are willing to make. And most of them, they didn't create a unicorn from zero, but if you put all the pieces together, we have enough knowledge to make that someday.
Okay. All right, so one last question, and I'll let anyone answer who wants to answer. What is the one, and you heard me ask for a Twitter version before, so I'm going to ask you for a Twitter version of your answer. What is the one piece of advice you would give to a young scientist or a young person who wants to transition into the private industry?
Oh, that's a difficult one. One piece of advice. I would say, like, it will sound cliche, but I would say that you need to work with what you love, you know. So most of my life, I try to work. I have the opposite problem that most of the people. I love everything, so I need to choose what I really love the most.
Okay.
So I think that's the. I don't agree with that. You need to choose what you love and what you make money. If you're really good in what you love, you will make money with that. You just need to work in an intelligent manner. But I would say to really understand what's happening on your research, on your professors. You said LinkedIn, like access LinkedIn, see what's. I was talking with my girlfriend. She's a master. She did her master's science, and she was saying that LinkedIn is not good. But if you use LinkedIn in a perspective of really working the private sector, you're going to see like the fits and connections of what you did with the current jobs that are opening. So I would say, like, do what you love and do it into an intelligent manner, an intelligent way to make it all glue together.
And it sounds like you said investigate, research, look around as well. So,
Yeah, a lot.
Andre, do you have Twitter advice to someone moving into the private sector?
Yeah, I guess I'll stick with Luis. I see, like every day, I see data scientists that are frustrated because they work with something they don't believe, or they don't want to keep following these, and the projects stay too long, and they start to be more and more depressed. So the main thing you gotta do is find something you really like to do, then stick to this. Don't drift
And
apart.
thank you. And Thais, I'll ask you something a little different. What is the most important thing for a new employee in a business to focus on as they learn?
The most,
Just a
the
second,
most,
please.
mm,
Just a second, please. Sorry. Go ahead.
okay. The most important thing for a new employee to focus on while you're learning.
Yes.
Um, Let me think. But I think career is the important thing to focus on, because I think everything you do during your journey as a new employee will have some consequences for your career in the future. So I think for me it's important to have those steps really clear, and where you want to get, or maybe in the general, in the big picture, where do you want to get, and what do you want to achieve, because if you have a plan, or if you have goals, if you have dreams, it's always easy to focus in what matters while you're learning and while you're having your professional experiences. I am a really young employee. I am really new at this business field, and it's hard for me to say what the most important thing to focus on, because everything for me is important. I am just like Luis. I like everything, and I want to do a little bit of everything to have a great package and more experience. So I think you just need to have a plan to
Okay.
to organize your
Also,
ideas and organize
yeah,
where do you want to get.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay,
There's
no
a delay
problem.
here, but we have a question from Romulo here. Romulo, can I read the question here, Pam?
I'm sorry, but we're out of time, which is why
Okay.
I did not ask the question. I apologize.
So
So,
so Romulo, you can find me on LinkedIn, and I can answer for this.
oh, thank you so much. That's a wonderful idea. So I want to thank the three of you so much. We have so many positive comments about what you presented today. And yes, if each of you would put your LinkedIn connection, if you have one, and or how to contact you at the company in the chat box, that would be fantastic. And then people could follow up to you when they want to after the program. So thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.